What up, what up, what up? It's Shit Talkin' Tuesday, and we're your hosts, Miriah and Ty. Ty, what's up, my guy? How you doing?
I'm doing well. It's a crisp Tuesday. How are you doing?
Doing good. Hanging in there, the usual. Chat, what's up? Happy Tuesday. Hope everybody's doing great. We made it through the Loser Monday. Now we're into Loser Tuesday. So here we go. Don, what's up? Appreciate you as always. Throwback, what's good?
That's right.
Appreciate
What up,
you,
Don?
sir.
What up, Throwback?
Bebop says F the haters. F them, Bebop.
That's right.
What up, Jet? Red
What
Jet
up?
Shell in the house.
Girl
What's
Shell in the
good?
house.
Daniel Berry.
Going on.
What's good? But yeah, what's up, everybody? Hope everybody's doing great. Everybody that watches on replay, that's watching, that's not in chat, what's up to y'all? We appreciate you all as well. So before we get into any of the game BS nastiness, obviously, the 49ers lose again to a team that they should have beat. But yeah, we'll get into that. Some news that was released today that I kind of want to talk about before that, something that doesn't have nothing to do with the 49ers. Well, not really, but kind of, maybe. And that was the Jets firing head coach Robert Saleh today after only 5 weeks. So only 5 games with actually having Aaron Rodgers as his starting quarterback. And it's all blown up now. Now, there's since rumors coming out that this morning, about 5 minutes prior to him getting fired, he was trying to demote the OC.
Nathaniel Hackett.
Yeah. And 5 minutes after that, he gets fired. Now, we all know that OC is Aaron Rodgers' guy, right? So
it's BFF.
Now it's coming out. Aaron Rodgers didn't know about this firing before it happens, but what? The owner's going to get up there and say, yeah, I discussed this with Aaron Rodgers, and he told me that this is the direction he would like to go, so that's what we decided to do. No, they're not going to do that. So of course, the owner is going to say, this is my decision. Hopefully this sparks a change and the team's more motivated to play. Now, the reports are that he was escorted out with security. Now, when the Jets fired their last loser coach, Adam Gase, he just left on his own. He was not escorted with no security of any kind per reports. So very interesting that they thought they had to escort Saleh out with security. We know he can get heated, right? But we also know could be the nicest guy out there too, from all accounts. So interesting situation they got going on over there. Now, with the 49ers losing, of course, the low-hanging fruit is for everybody to blame the new person, right? So all the blame, most of everybody's blame is going towards the DC. Fire him. We don't want him here. He sucks. The same thing I heard with the last DC, the same thing I heard with the DC prior to that, in their first 5, 6, 7, 8 games. And then after that, all of a sudden, they were the best thing that we've ever seen. And we got to keep them forever and all this. So interesting. With all that, before I turn it over to you, Shanahan was asked today about how he felt Nick Sorensen has done so far. And he says, I think Nick is doing a real good job. I've liked his game plans. I've liked how he's called it. I've been impressed with him since the beginning. End quote. Thoughts on Robert Saleh, and do you think he eventually makes his way back to the 49ers?
Yeah, that messed up with Robert Saleh. Never really had a chance there. And he's being scapegoated right now. We all know we've seen it firsthand. So it's just real messed up because he's a real good guy, I believe, real good coach, and just was hamstrung in New York. Never had a quarterback. Got a quarterback. The quarterback gets injured. Quarterback is finally quote unquote healthy, although he doesn't look it, and he gives him full reign of the offense, but somehow he's getting blamed for it. It's just
And the
a raw
defense ain't
deal.
the problem. It's the offense
Nope.
that's the problem. Like,
Exactly. It's a raw deal, but got to point the finger at somebody, right? So there you go. So I feel for him, but I'm sure he'll bounce back. He's a great coach, as we all know. And we know how coaches are in this league. Like, a head coach gets fired, but we all know he's a great defensive coordinator. Somebody will need a DC next year. He'll get picked up. As far as the 49ers, we don't know. Robert Saleh has already said he's taking time off. He's collecting his money. The Jets still owe him a bunch of money. So he's not in an immediate need to find a job. He can go hang out with his wife and kids and take time off. That's what he's going to do. And he'll reassess things next year because he's still making head coach money next year. So he may not come back. You don't know. And we have to see how things play out on our end because, right now we're kind of doing the same thing the Jets are doing, especially the fans. So let's see how it plays out.
Yeah. Of course, once the news comes out that he was fired, 49ers Twitter is just full of bring Robert Saleh back, fire Sorensen, get Saleh back in here.
Yep.
Like, people are literally expecting, Robert got fired today. He's going to be hired into the 49ers tomorrow at some position. Like,
yeah, he'll be here tomorrow
don't you think
in Santa Clara?
That the guy has probably had a tough few years over there and might want a little break? Like, don't you think that maybe his mental needs a fucking break? Maybe, you're making, like you said, a salary for the rest of the season plus next season to sit at home on your couch to do whatever the hell you want to do besides work. Why wouldn't you take the time to spend some time with your family, to travel, to do whatever the hell, like, get out of there. Get the hell out of there.
Fucking, I'm out. This is for Steve-O, since he asked the question.
That's good.
I thought it was appropriate. There you go, Steve-O.
And what's up, Steve-O? I also saw something about the flag, but that's all. Like, I haven't seen what actually they said occurred with the flag. Like, he had one hanging up, or
he on his shirt, he wore a long sleeve shirt, and on his sleeve he had a little patch added on of the Lebanon flag. That's it. As you know, Lebanon's being bombed right now, and
that's where he's from.
So exactly. So he's just showing some love for his country. That's all it was.
And he wore that on game day, or
yeah, he wore it on game day. It was added to his shirt, and he wore it on game day.
So that would be a kind of strange, weird thing to fire somebody for, especially when he's from there. Like, people are supposed to support
like his people are literally being like, and he just wore the flag. He didn't say anything about it. All he did was add it to his shirt, and he wore it. That's it. So I don't think that has anything to do with it, really. I think that's just people speculating and adding fuel to the fire because these insiders gotta do what they do to get their clicks and views and be like, hey, per my sources, it could have been this, but they don't really know anything.
Right. What's up, Corona?
What's up?
So some other news that came out today, injuries. Hufanga just can't seem to get his ass back on the field. Like, man, we finally get him back from the ACL tear. One game, he can't even make it through the whole game. He gets hurt again, misses the next game. He comes back the next game, gets hurt again. It's just like, what the hell is going on? So now it's reported that he has ligament damage, and will be out at least a month.
Yeah.
But probably longer, per Shanahan. They're deciding right now whether he goes to IR or not. I haven't been keeping track with all these freaking injuries, how many people we've even sent to IR. Like, I know Kalia Davis, was he on IR? Like, we can only bring back so many people, right? So, like, like, we can't just keep putting everybody on IR.
Right.
But at the same time, we can't just keep holding all these injured players on our active roster and
wasting roster spots.
So, then also it gets announced, obviously we know Jake Moody got hurt during the game. That's why, we'll talk about it. We were not able to kick any field goals. So it came out that he has a high ankle sprain and will be out at least a couple weeks. We have signed, another guy to take his place. I don't know nothing about him. We shall see what happens. But yeah. Also, it was reported that Charvarius Ward is dealing with something, so he was limited in practice. He's dealing with not being able to play fucking football. Maybe that's what he's dealing with. But thoughts on Huff and Moody news?
Yeah, Huff. I don't want to say you can't catch a break. That's the wrong choice of words. But like you said, you just can't manage to stay on the field. And that's exactly what you said. We get him back. We're excited. And we lost him. And we get him back. All right. We're excited again. And we lost him.
Yeah.
And, my fear was that he came back a little too soon and he would mess up his knee again. I was hoping he didn't get back until November. Like, give him that full year to rehab. But he's back. But this time it's his wrist. He damaged his wrist now, and he has torn ligaments, and he's gone. So it's like, dude, you feel for him, especially this is his contract year and everything. You want to see him play well, but he just can't stay healthy, and that's bad news. So Malik Mustafa time once again. Luckily he's been out there and he's been playing. So I'm fine with that. Jake Moody, so he was put in a bad situation, and my hat goes off to Jake Moody. He wasn't afraid of the situation. He squared up, buckled down, and made the tackle. He just his ankle got bent back, and you saw it, and he reached for it immediately, and it was like, ooh, you knew it was bad in some way. Yeah. And as soon as Kyle said after the game, high ankle sprain, I was like, oh, that's a month. Automatically. We lived through this in, what was it, 2021, 2022, when it seemed like everybody had high ankle sprains. So gone. Luckily, they're bringing in a kicker who's got some experience in the league. I remember that year Robbie Gould got hurt, and they brought in this kid that didn't kick before, and we played that game against Seattle, and he kicked it to the tunnel, like game-winning field goal.
Like, I could have kicked it better than that.
Exactly, he totally shanked it. It was bad. So hopefully this dude has got some experience, and he could just make some kicks for us. That's do the bare minimum, dude. Just make some kicks, and we'll be fine. We knew they would sign someone today, get him in there quick, because we need somebody for Thursday. Shoot. 2 days away. But it's just messed up that two guys get injured, and it's like we freaking needed them.
With Huff, the reason I'm not too worried is because we've gone all this time without him, and we have these young guys there in Jair Brown and Mustafa for this reason, right?
Yep.
But like you said, this is his contract year. So, like, do we see Huff even suited up again for the 49ers? Like, like,
Right.
do they even offer him an extension now after this? Like,
You
do
know?
other teams take a chance on him? Like,
Yeah.
it just
It's just
sucks because
rough.
he
It's
dealt with
just
a lot of injuries too in college,
yeah,
and so
exactly.
for him to make it through his first year with us and be good and get the
Mm-hmm.
Pro Bowl and all that was great. And then now we're back to this injuries. Like,
Right. They're rearing their ugly head at the wrong time for him.
yeah,
So you feel for
tough.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I hate that.
And it's like, the 49ers operate. They'll be like, yeah, well, we'll bring you back, but you've been injured, so we're gonna give you the lower offer. And it's like, well,
Yeah.
you want to, test the water somewhere else for more money. You play the business of football at that point. So it's
And
just
then
rough.
you see him end up in a place like with the Panthers, or because
Yeah,
nobody
it'll
else
be in
is willing
Cleveland.
to. Yeah, like
It's like, oh,
where players go to freaking croak.
exactly.
But yeah, hopefully this guy that we signed to take the place of Moody, he's just able to do his job. Just do your
Yeah.
job. And like, the offense needs to step it up and not put him in positions that, we're asking him to make a field goal that's 62 fucking,
Exactly.
like,
Yeah. We need you to make this 55-yarder because we
yeah,
couldn't move the
like,
ball. Get on
exactly.
out there. The fuck?
All right, so Arizona, it looked good to begin, and then I just don't know even what
Yeah.
happened. Like, it just felt like everything fell apart. Like, the offense are still, can get to the red zone, like, it's fine, it seems, and then once they get there, it's like they forget what the fuck they're doing. Like, Kyle is just doing the same old shit. We watched, whoever watched Monday Night Football last night, the Chiefs, I swear, they get to the red zone and they do shit you've never seen a freaking team do before. They've never done it. No other team's ever done it. They're pulling shit. Like, they had Kelsey taking the direct snap. Freaking Mahomes was behind him. They had a wide receiver out, freaking running back out. Kelsey just handed it right off to the running back. He fucking runs it right into the end zone. Like, no, we get there and we just do the same old shit every game, every freaking time we're in the red zone and can't fucking score. Yet when we get back down there the next fucking drive, we're going to do the same shit again. It's like, don't you think defenses have fucking figured it out? Like, I don't know what Kyle, I just don't understand. Like, everybody wants to blame the defense, but the defense is making stops. And
Bingo.
yet we're going to keep asking them to get out there and do it over and over and over and over and over. Eventually, the other team's going to get through. Like,
yeah,
they get tired. They can't do fucking everything. When the offense has to not be able to put up any points, we don't have a kicker that can make fucking field goals. So we're like stuck. Like, we're stuck going for it in times that they shouldn't have. So like just turned into like a mess. I feel like as soon as Moody got hurt, like it kind of just, it was very weird after that. And hats off to Arizona, like for Kyler to come out and score that touchdown on the first fucking play. I just was like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. Like, you have to be fucking kidding me.
He took off. Yeah.
I was just like, I thought, oh yeah, we're in for a long freaking day. And then kind of, the 49ers seemed like, okay, they're getting their shit together. And then it was just like somebody fucking stuck a tack in the balloon and that shit went away. Kind of, yeah, your just overall thoughts on this game.
Yeah, it was basically a tale of two halves. In the first half, they got us on that one drive. Is really that one big play. Misplayed kind of on the back end, and Kyler took off, and he saw it was nothing in front of him and pointed like, "Oh, I'm gone." And I don't blame him because it was nothing out there but grass. So, everyone settled down. The defense settled down. Offense was moving the ball, got down, it's like you say, in between the 20s, they looked fantastic. Then they got to the red zone and was stinking it up. And part of the most of that was the offensive line and the quarterback, really. Like, I don't know what happened when they got down there, but things weren't right. Managed to get one touchdown, but other than that, it was field goal, and you need more than that,
Yeah.
right? You can't just keep kicking field goals, and this problem has been going on since week one. It's just they got to get that together, but at least they did enough to put points on the board. Special teams helped out with the big block field goal. Diamador Lenore scoops it up, runs it in. Birthday present, right? He's the birthday boy. He capitalized on that. Shout out to him. We're looking good. We're looking good in all three phases, really. Offense, defense, and special teams. Everyone's making some plays. Okay, cool. Second half starts. We force a 3-and-out. People forget about that. The defense forced a 3-and-out. Gives the ball to the offense. And it seems like clones were put out there on offense all of a sudden. Brock throws an interception. And yeah, it was a tip ball, but still, like, Kittle was standing there and didn't even attempt to knock it down, do nothing. It just gets picked off and is like, what the hell happened there? Right? It's like, what the holy F happened there? But even with that, even with the short field, the defense held strong and only gave up a field goal. And you're like, phew, way to go, defense. We dodged a bullet. Offense gets the ball, drives downfield, nothing. Defense right back on the field. It's like it just fell apart. It just fell apart. And then at the end of the game, we need to make plays. We just didn't. It was like, all right, we need to score here. Freaking Jordan Mason fumbles. Well, first of all, the offensive line just totally got blown up. And then after that, Mason fumbles it. And it's like, we can't even attempt a field goal now. That was dead.
Mm-hmm.
They go down and score. Like, it just all unraveled. And then even after all that, we get the ball back. And we're like, we can still go down and score. It's 1 point. We can still go down the field and win this thing. We get one first down and then boom, blown up. It just totally unraveled in the second half. It was just one bad thing after another bad thing. It was like, what the F is going on?
Yeah.
It was stupid. It was stupid to watch. It was like, it was more upsetting than the Rams game in a way. Because at least in the Rams game, it was just that final 3 minutes where everything went wrong. So it was like quick. It's like they ripped off the Band-Aid quick. This one was like that slow Band-Aid that was stuck, and you pull it a little bit, then it pulls your hairs and your skin. You're like, ah! You're like, don't do it anymore. But then you pull it a little bit more and it pulls again. You're like, ah! It was like that. You just couldn't. It just didn't stop. It just didn't stop. And it was like, what is going on? But the big thing is that the red zone offense is, what were we, 1 for 6, 1 for 7?
Yeah.
And twice we got 0 points down there. I don't know why everybody's pointing a finger at the defense. Like, they got to score the points too. Like, what is going on? Well, exactly. Like, special teams got some. Last week, defense did score some points after we got to the red zone and kicked 2 field goals.
Mm-hmm.
It was the defense that wound up punching it in first. Like, is this the world we got to live in? Where we're like, all right, defense, let me get a pick 6. Let me get, a scoop and score, something. Like, that's what needs to be addressed.
Yet we're going to fire defensive coordinator and like what he's making them not be able to score touchdowns.
I know it's his fault. Yeah, like,
I didn't know. I mean, I just don't know. Like Arizona had a terrible run defense, and we're going into the game and just throwing. We're getting into the red zone and throwing 4 times in a fucking row. It's just like I understand CMC like scored a shit ton of our touchdowns, since he's been here, but like we have other backs. Like attempt to use them.
Yeah.
Like I'm just not.
He attempted to use Garendo at one point. The run game is just off. Like I talked about that play where the offensive line just got blown up. Like, like what the F is that about? Like Trent Williams, where you at? How you letting your man just go? You supposed to be the best dude on the field, period. How you get whiffed? Ugly. But like Isaac Garendo picking the wrong hole and not trusting what he sees, and Mason fumbling, it's just off.
Yeah.
And like Brock missing open touchdowns. What's that about? And getting the happy feet and doing his best Jimmy G impersonation. I know people don't want to say it, but all that scrambling back and forth, dude.
Running backwards for 5 minutes.
All of it resulted to nothing. And then ultimately a sack moved us back even more. That helped no one. I was like, you got to get it together. This ain't what we signed up for.
Yeah. Like I want him to be able to extend plays and run around, but like you got to pick and choose. Like when you see, you just keep going back and back and back, and you're not like, get rid of the fucking ball. You know, like
at some point, just throw it away. Live to like, play another down. Like, dude, it's first down. It's like, second down.
Back there 30 fucking yards. Like, what are you gonna do now?
It's first down. It's second down. Live to play another down. Like, I don't need all that. Benny Hill running around. Like, that's terrible. I'm looking at the screen. Like, where is he going?
It was good to actually see the return of Brandon Ayuk. Had a great game. Too bad it didn't result in a win, but won't take away from, like, he was hanging on to the ball. He took some big ass hits, and I was just like, please hang on to the fucking ball. Please don't drop the ball. Please. Like every time he gets the ball now, because I just know Twitter's gonna friggin' be exploding. But yeah, like I forget what the numbers were. He had 100 and something yards in the first half, like the most ever in his career in the first half of a game. Like, so he had a great game. Fred Warner, obviously
147 overall.
Yeah. Fred Warner continues to be a stud. Like, I feel like the entire defense is like crumbling around him, and he's just still standing there strong in the middle, like,
and he's not 100%.
No.
That angle's bothering him. You can tell because he's not moving the way he normally moves. But damn it, he's still out there like being the best defender on the field.
And Diamador Lenore continues to be a stud, obviously on defense and now special teams. And we've been needing somebody has to fucking step up on special teams. Like it's been terrible. Like you have to make fucking plays. And luckily he was able to get that done. So, it's not all, doom and gloom, but there's a lot more bad than good right now at this time. However, we have a game in a couple days. And if we don't win that game, things are really starting to look ugly. We're already 0-2 in the division. That'll put us at 0-3 in division. We haven't won a game in the NFC period yet. So we're not looking great by any means. However, if you win that game on Thursday, you're now back to the top of the division, and things, so easily can start to turn around. But man, they have to fucking win this game Thursday. They have to win this game. Nick Bosa was just interviewed and said, they're treating this as a must-win game. Yeah. you bet your ass it's a must-win game. Sin says that DK had some words to say. Appreciate you, Sin.
Yeah.
Says that DK said, I've seen their film, and honestly, this is the least worried I've ever been facing them. Their defense isn't that good, can't tackle, and they aren't good in coverage. He said, I'll probably have a career night. Now, remember, Charvarius Ward has been shadowing DK the last couple times we played them. And Charvarius Ward has been looking like shit so far. Every single game has looked like shit. So, if I'm DK, hell yeah, I'm fucking saying this too. Like, that's a direct shot. He put defense in there, but that's a direct shot at Charvarius Ward, who's going to be covering DK.
It was.
Yeah.
That's saying his name without saying his name.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But Charvarius Ward is dealing with something. They said it was a knee, a groin, whatever it is. He's been dealing with something and just trying to play through it. He's not himself. This is when you need your coaches to be smart. Like, a healthy Charvarius Ward at the top of his game last season. Hey, you follow him. This year, it's not the same. You do not follow him. You just play your side of the field. That's all you do. Play your side of the field. When he goes to the left side, he'll either be on Diamador Lenore or Yadam, depending on the matchup. And that's what you do. And you can roll coverage to him, try to double him up, take him away, do other things, right? It is what it is. But I would not have Ward follow him around this year. Mm-hmm. I mean, he didn't follow him around when we played them in the second game. They played it straight up. They switched up the defense. So, I would do the same thing. Sorensen was there. He knows what's going on. Like, just use your personnel wisely. Don't do no dumb stuff like you did in Minnesota where you're putting your backup safety on Justin Jefferson. Like, that ain't going to work.
Yeah.
It ain't going to work. Just play straight up base defense. Have everybody where they are. That's what you got to do. And, try to limit him because he's going to try to go off anyway because he was embarrassed from last year. Mm-hmm. So no matter what, he was going to talk some trash about because, he wants some get back. So just got to limit him.
Yep. Steve-O says, what is the percentage of losing Super Bowl teams that don't make the playoffs? Good question. Should find out.
I don't even know. But people always talk about the Super Bowl hangover and all that good stuff. So
we got the Super Bowl hangover, the Madden curse, line it all up. We got it all.
We got all that stuff. Yeah. A black cat walked in front of the bus, everything.
What's up, Avion says, Ronaldo Green, step up, let's go. I would like to see definitely more, of these young guys get worked in there more, especially, like Devondre Campbell. Like, you ain't fucking doing shit, but missing tackles, giving up touchdowns. Like, get the hell out of there. Put freaking D Winters in there. Like, what are we doing? Like, I'm sick of these guys. Like, just because they're old and like a vet and no name, a no name, like, well, they're not that anymore. Like, stop, get our young guys in there. Like, you guys are losing with the old guys in there. So what, it can't get much worse. Like, get the young guys in there and get them some playing time. Give them a chance, So
Campbell's he's a big like run stuffing looking linebacker, but in coverage and running sideline to sideline, he ain't it. I would put him in there on base downs, and that's it. After that, you got to go. Or when we go to nickel, I'm putting D Winters in there next to Fred or somebody else because he can't move. It's like he running in sand sometimes. It's like, oh.
Yeah. Rick had brought up something here about Mason's fumble. And, prior to the fumble, even during that game, like I was noticing like he had like was not protecting the ball at all. Like he's just running, like would be running just with it in one arm, right? Like 3-4 different guys are coming to tackle him, and he don't try to like wrap it up or nothing. He just gonna freaking try to go down like that. And just like I was watching the whole time, like thinking like that ball's gonna fucking come out. That ball's gonna come out. Like he's not fucking protecting the ball. And sure enough, you know, like fucking few plays later, it's like that ball's out. And like, cause you could just tell, like, he was not trying to, it was like, you knew, like, if one even attempted to fucking punch that ball out, it was coming out. Like, and you think they're watching film now. There's weeks now of film to watch on Mason. So they're seeing the way that he runs. Like, you know, yeah, he's had some great games for us, but for people to act like he's a fucking CMC, like he ain't. He's not that, you know, he don't have that experience. He needs to get better. And he needs to learn to protect the fucking football if he's going to continue to be in there as our starting running back, because we can't keep giving up the football. Like our quarterback's already turning it over. We have our running back turning it over too. Like somebody has to protect the ball.
Yeah. Can't have the passing game and the run game just coughing up the footballs. Like, geez.
Fucking dumbasses. Yeah. But yeah, like I'm not mad about that DK quote whatsoever, because it's the truth. Like,
yeah, talk your talk, dude. Like, that's what you're supposed to do. And you know, if you see a weakness, talk about it. It's all good. But you got to show up and do it on the field. Ain't like we gonna be like, oh, he right. We might as well not guard him.
Right.
No, they can still come out and compete. And you know, like I said, you can still double team them, roll some coverage to them, bracket them. Like you could do different things. Like Brandon Ayuk was going off in the first half. In the second half, they chose to double team him. They was like, you know, forget this. He being Ayuk again. Double team him. And we know from last year that the Cardinals can't cover him, because in 2 games last year, he was going off against them. So finally, the defensive coordinator smartened up and was like, all right, enough. Y'all can't do it alone. So 2 of y'all guard them. So that's what you do. You smarten up on defense. Your coaches got to smarten up and come up with a good game plan. And, you know, players just got to execute. So hopefully they get it done. Hopefully, what I really want to see is, we know DK doesn't like when people get physical with him.
Yeah.
Now we got 2 physical safeties in Brown and Mustafa. I want to see them, like, you know, come downhill, get some pops on him and see how he feels. Because we've seen it in the past with Jimmy Ward, and Jimmy Ward would hit him, he'd be like, oh, you think you're And last year, Mooney Ward got physical with him. And he totally took him out the game. So if they could just get some hits on him and shut that mouth up, I'd be happy with that.
And we know too, Diameter Lenore can lay the fucking thump down. Let him get a couple good licks on him. Like, we don't care if DK is fucking twice his size. Like, he's gonna
Demo is like
bring the boom.
Listening, so you know, he's listening to that quote like, okay, all right.
I'd rather Lenore on him anyway than Trevor.
Yeah, 100%.
What's up, Brandon? Sin found out the answer for us. Appreciate you. Says approximately 68.5% of Super Bowl losing teams make it to the playoffs the following year. So almost 70%. Right.
Yeah, good percentage.
Hopefully,
the hangover thing is kind of overblown. It's a marketing thing, to be honest with you. Like, teams don't just disappear and go away. And certain factors, we all know injuries is a big factor, and coaching turnover, because we know you reach the Super Bowl and all of a sudden your assistant coaches are hot commodities. We know this firsthand. So you lose things. So it's not like the team just disappeared. There's big factors involved there.
Agree. Yeah, I don't know. They just need to, you know, it's not even like I want to just blame. Like, I already see people calling for Shanahan's job, all this. Now, I'm not going to, obviously, Shanahan has he's the head coach. He makes 98% of the fucking decisions that go on with this team. So the blame has to come to him eventually, right?
Yeah.
And like, I'm not saying, be the Jets and fire our head coach right now by any means. I'm not saying that. But at what point, do you just like keep the head coach around for 15 years if they don't win a Super Bowl? Do you keep them? You're going to keep them for 20 years if they don't win a Super Bowl just because you've been getting there? Say we get there one more time and lose. We still keep Shanahan? Say we never get there again in the next 5 years. You're still keeping Shanahan? Like, at what point is enough? At what point does a change have to happen? Because whatever's going on right now isn't getting it done. Like, the same, every other team's getting better, yet you want to keep rolling out there with the same thing that didn't get it done the year before. Like, okay, we're switching up the personnel here, these players, this players. We switched up the DC, we switched up special teams coach, all the other coaches have been switched up. Like, at what point does it become time that, okay, it's time to look for a new head coach?
Jed has a tough decision coming up here in the future if we don't get one, because he said out his mouth, it's about championships. And it's about bringing home the Lombardi. And we've reached that point where it's truly championship or bust. It's all this feel good. We won a division. We swept. We're the number 1 seed. Oh, we made it to the NFC championship game. We made it to the Super Bowl. All that's done and over with. Right? Dre Greenlaw said it best last year when I forget, it was either after we won a division or after we won the NFC championship game, when they asked him, hey, you got the championship t-shirt? And he was like, I already got one of them. I don't care. I need a trophy. Like, I need a Super Bowl t-shirt. That's the sentiment. Right? So Jed's he's going to have to make a decision here. Because something's got to change. Like, it can't go on like this forever. We can't be the Pittsburgh Steelers. Just feeling good about making the playoffs every year, but don't do nothing. Or like, Dallas, like Green Bay. Like, that was Green Bay all those years. Oh, we made the playoffs and we got the best quarterback in football per se and all this stuff. And then you do nothing with it. 49ers kick your ass. Like, that can't go on. It cannot.
Lyxon says the Eagles kept Andy Reid for 14 years. He then goes to Kansas City, drafts Mahomes, and is now top of the NFL. And obviously multiple time Super Bowl champion coach now. But who's to say if the Eagles kept him for 20 years, he could have never won one there. Just sometimes you need the change, you need different personnel, you need different players, different
needs to fall in your lap. Yeah, exactly. Like, he goes to Kansas City and winds up with a Tariq Hill and this guy, and all of a sudden these fast receivers, and he's like, all right, let me get a strong arm quarterback that can wing it downfield to them, and he does. It's like, oh wow, and then he picks up a defensive coordinator that previously won 2 Super Bowls. Right? He just totally rebuilt.
It all matters,
it all came together and it clicked. Sometimes that's what you need.
And you know what else? When they got there, they won it.
They brought it home. They brought it home. Can't deny that. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting. Like, the big picture. Like, we all know the 49ers are like a dramatic movie, right? It's all this drama going on, all this intrigue, all this stuff. But the big picture is what's going on with the head coach? What's going on with the owner? How are they going to work this out toward the end of the movie, right? What's going to be the climax? Is the climax going to be hoisting the Lombardi, or so long, see ya, we got to start over with a new guy? We'll see.
Yeah, I'm trying not to get too low, obviously, because we've seen this story before, right? Like where the 49ers lose a bunch of games and then all of a sudden off they go to the races, right? They figure it out and everything clicks and it works. But
remember 2021, we lost 4 in a row, 4 straight. It wasn't like this one where it was a breakup, win, loss, win, loss. That we lost 4 straight.
What's making it tough this time, though, is that we've lost division games.
Yeah.
And all these injuries. Like, we can't even get guys back because the guys we're getting back are getting injured right away. Where it's like, okay, we're finally getting some depth back. We're getting some of our starters back. And then we lose 3 more people. It's like every game we're losing 3 to 5 people. Like, you can't.
Yeah. You need bodies.
Yeah.
Right. You need players on the field.
And it's like we're bitching about special teams sucking. Well, it all takes a hit, like those special teams players then have to move up to starters. Then we're moving practice squad players into special team players that shouldn't even be on the field, and it's just like,
yep, it's all part of the cycle. So,
but like I said, we've been here before. I see other teams get hurt and they figure it the fuck out. Like, the Chiefs, like, I swear, it doesn't matter what happens to them. They figure out how to win the game. It's like, I don't understand. Like, how you lose your starting wide receiver, you lose this, you lose that, this, that. And then they get out there and it's like, you would never even know they're missing anything because they figure it the fuck out.
Clicking along. Yeah. But one thing we know Andy Reid does, he plays his young guys. Like, he be throwing them out there, and they're like, who this dude? Undrafted. Oh, okay. All righty. Let me write his name down for fantasy just in case. Like, Andy Reid has no problem putting everybody out there.
Yeah.
Like, something we got to learn to do. Look at Brandon.
What is this? I blame the Weasel Watcher, making him more important than the team. Said it for years. Who's a Weasel Watcher? Is that Jed?
Is that his juice box?
Is it?
Looks like it.
One as well. I don't know. I don't know who the Weasel Watcher is.
Yeah.
What's up, Jason?
What up?
But yeah, any other thoughts? Anything else you want to talk about before we get out of here?
Yeah, just quick. You got to have a quick short-term memory, turn this thing around, and bring it home on Thursday. The key thing to remember is they've been in every game. They've been in position to win every game. It's not like the team is getting blown out. That's not the case. And that's part of the frustration. Like, we could very, very easily be 5-0 right now. And, walking around with our chest poked out like, look at us. Oh, your team ain't undefeated? I wouldn't know about that. That's what would be going on, right? We were in those positions, but didn't put it together. Didn't bring it home. So they can easily turn this thing around and start winning these games. They just need to do it. And I don't know if they need to look inward, phone a friend, go out, touch some grass, do what you gotta do. You know what I'm saying? Get together, have a little cipher, a little puff pass, get your mind right. Do what you gotta do. And start doing dumb stuff, right? Like Jordan Mason, bro. You're running back, secure the ball. Like, what is this? Right? Like Isaac Garendo running into the back of his man on a punt return, on a kick return. Like, who does that? It's little stupid things.
Mm-hmm.
So get it together and just get this win. We go into this mini bye. and we can really like rest a little bit, regroup, and then go into this gauntlet that we got coming up. So just bring it home on Thursday. I don't care if it's by 1 point like Arizona did. Just get the dub. We're in first place and everybody can breathe a little bit.
Yeah.
I did say it, Shell. Yes, I did.
We have to fucking win. And it's tough because, you know, this ain't a home game. We're having to go to their home. We know the noise, all that shit that comes into play. And now you put your back up against the fucking wall, you know? So
yeah. And we know Seattle's always weird. It's always weird up there. Whether it's the refs, the weather, the wind, it's weird stuff happens in Seattle. Right? Even last year on Thanksgiving, we won, we blew them out, but like Brock had that weird pick six.
Yeah.
Down in the thing, and it was like, where the hell did that come from? Like, you know what I mean? Like, what was that about? Like, that's the kind of weird stuff that happens. Like, wait a minute, what the heck? So they just got to do their thing, like bring it home into that. And then Seattle just lost to the Giants, so it's not like they're world beaters, right? They're not out dominating. They could be had, and they got injuries too. So it's even game. Let's just go in there, play 49 football, and get this thing done.
Exactly. Like you said, win by 1 point, win by 30. I don't give a shit. Just get the win. Like, and like, I mean, it all comes down to, you know, we could blame the coaches, the head coach, the DC, whatever. Those players need to get on the fucking field and play football. Like, you have to do what you have to fucking do. You have a job to do it. You know, like, if they're not fucking playing out the play call the way it's supposed to be played, like, we can yell and want to fire the coaches all we fucking want to, but at the end of the day, like, you know, like, I see other teams get out there and those fucking players are doing every fucking thing they can when they're on that field to make a play. Everything. I don't see that from our guys half the fucking time. Like you said, Kittle, he's not fighting to freaking make a tackle or try to get that ball back. He just threw his head down and turned and walked away. Like, what happened to that 150% effort every fucking play? You know, like, we're not getting that. Like, you know, like running half routes, Debo, who knows what the fuck he's doing? Like, you have to fucking want Sunday, it. Like, you know, like, it's like,
so maybe they need to treat every game like a must win.
You're paying these guys already the top of their fucking pay. Like, what do they have to play for now? You know, like, you already got to the Super Bowl, you lost. So they probably know, oh, well, we might not get it back. So we already got paid. Well, let's just go out there and do what we got to do. Let's get through this game. Let's not get hurt. Let's like, who wants it? Like, us fans, we fucking want it more than the players. We're more upset than they fucking are half the time, you know? Like,
that's true.
Show some fucking emotion, you know? Like, fucking do something.
Go out there, fight, grit.
Fucking like, be out there acting like bums.
Do what you gotta do. Yeah. We gotta see how they respond. Like, I'm watching this game. Like, I want to see how they respond. Just how they come out. Are they coming out with that intensity, with that fire? Like, let's get this damn thing done. Because
exactly. Like, you never had to question if Patrick Willis and Navarro Bowman and them how bad they fucking want it. Like, I don't have to question how bad Fred Warner wants it. Like, that's how everybody needs to play. It shouldn't be one person on the defense. Like, where's everybody else at? You know, like,
this is the time where Fred needs to have one of those full team pregame speeches, like he did against Dallas last year when he brought the whole team together. Like, this needs to be one of those games. Bring everybody together and let them know we need to get this shit done.
It's not the X's and the O's, it's the Jimmys and the Joes. That's right, Steve-O. Those Jimmy and Joes better get their ass to fucking work. Get their ass in the unemployment line.
Miriah's in Vegas, so you know she all about the pimps and the hoes, but that's a different story for a different time. Different time.
That's another show.
That's right. Join us for Talking Shit Late Night.
Anything else you got going on this week you want to tell them about?
East Coast Red and Gold show tomorrow night. 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern. Jump in, check that out. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah, Ty, he's being crazy over there talking about puff puff pass, pimps and hoes.
Who, me?
He secretly thinks he's from Vegas. Just we'll put
I'm
that
an honorary
out
member.
there. He
That's all
thinks
I'm
he
saying.
lives here.
I'm an honorary member.
I'll be back Thursday with Steph at 3 Pacific time for the Two Goat show.
Two goats.
And I think we'll probably still do it at 3. I don't know. We might do it a little bit earlier since Thursday is game day, but we'll see.
That's right.
Stand by.
Okay.
But yeah, we'll be live sometime Thursday. What's up, Rob? It's all right. It's all right. Appreciate you. You got to make the money, sir.
Exactly. Make your deal.
But yeah, everybody have a great rest of your week. Couple more days. Hopefully we can get a win and kind of get, little better spirits, get our spirits back up a little, get the vibes up, because
Right.
it ain't good when your teams are all losers. Like, let me tell you, when every fucking team you have loses, it's just not a good feeling.
Nope.
I know from experience. So yeah, much love. I appreciate everybody that came through the chat. As always, you guys are awesome. Everybody that watches back on replay, that's not in the chat, we appreciate y'all. Hope everybody has a great week. We're out of here, faithful.
See ya.
Peace.